What up, guys? We're here with Matty Ames. And what did you do, Matty Ames?
Well, I lost in top 8, but I got top 8, which is good enough for now.
How does it feel, Matt? Your first top.
It took a long time. The days are looking pretty dark, pretty grim, but we shattered the curse a little bit.
Is it everything you were ready for? Everything you wanted it?
It felt good. Once I hit top 32, I knew what I had to do. So kind of all the excitement goes out the window. There's a lot of work to be done once you hit that moment, but it was definitely what I wanted. There was a few times that I cried tears of joy.
Congratulations, brother. So let's get into your deck profile from the weekend. Let's see it.
So
Let's see what made it happen.
I didn't know what engine I wanted to play in the Ryziel deck. I knew I wanted to play the Ryziel deck. Just the summons are so good, and the playability of the cards from a newer deck was probably one of the better ones of the most recent sets. But I played Ryziel Fiendsmith. So I played 3 ice. This is basically the best Ryziel in the version. It's not even close. It's just the best normal summon, and it does the most, and it also is the only Ryziel normal summon that actually makes your opponent think at all, so it lets you know kind of what's in their hand when they look at it. I played 3X, 3 sword, 1 node. Don't really want to change any of those. They're just the Ryziel engine. And then we get to the important cards, which are the Fiendsmith cards. So this deck has like a generic inherent problem in D-Barrier. And when you get D-Barriered, there is almost little to nothing you can do in the regular Ryziel deck. You just kind of lose, you just auto scoop, or you just send out a couple of monsters and hope your hand traps are enough. I didn't want to do that. So I played 3 Engraver, 1 Lacrima, 1 Lurie. These cards played well all weekend. I got D-Barriered a total of like 17 times, I think, and I killed my opponent about 15 times when they did it. Whenever they D-Barrier you and you're summoning Fiendsmith cards, you feel like the absolute stones. And then with the hand traps, I played a pretty standard list of hand traps. Basically everything in the deck I think makes sense except for maybe 1 or 2 cards. 3 Ash, 3 Veiler. This is a questionable hand trap. 3 Droll, 3 Nib, and 3 Fua. So all the other hand traps except for Droll, I would always auto and play again. I think they were broken. The name of the format when you're playing the Ryziel mirror match is letting Duo Drive just not resolve. Basically, you should play the game as if your Duo Drive didn't resolve, because if you rely on the Duo Drive resolving, you're probably going to lose a lot more games. But the theory behind Droll is it may not be the most insane hand trap into the other matchups, but if you are playing in the Ryziel mirror, you really want this card, especially going first. If you're going first with this card, your board can be probably 1 card, even 2 cards, if it gets down to that. And if you droll them going first, there's almost nothing they can do. And when you're playing the Fiendsmith cards, it's so easy to just turn your weird, wacky board that was hand trapped half to death into your opponent having 0 life points. So I just could not see myself not playing this card in my deck. That's it for the monsters. For the spell cards, I played 1 plug-in, 1 cross. This is the first questionable card that I played all weekend. I think this card's just broken. Round 1, my opponent made me go first, and this card just made me laugh. I made a Baguska, I set this card, had a Duo Drive and field spell, and I did not see a world where my opponent did anything that game. And then I played 3 Bonfire, get to your best starter. It also gets you to your way out of the mirror match. I played 1 Tract. This was a card that I really wish I played more of. It's just better than Engraver into Droll. But 1 never really hurt me either. I opened it a few times and it was insane, so if I was ever going to play a deck again, I would definitely play more of this card. I played 2 Talents, 1 Call By. I just really didn't want 3 Talents in my deck because I hate drawing 2 of them. So I just threw a Call By in there. It just kind of made sense and it looks not too bad to me. And then to the trap cards, I played 3 Imperm. Obvious, pretty easy, just a really good hand trap. It's also one of the only hand traps that hits Duo Drive the most because it doesn't play into the field spell. And then I played 1 Fiendsmith of Paradise. This card was broken all weekend. I opened it a lot, and even when you open it, it's still broken. You just send Exaton off X, discard this card with either Node or second Ice that you search, and you basically full comboed anyways. So it was kind of insane. Pretty happy with my main deck. It was at 43. I wish I could have gotten it to 40, but there's still even more cards that I want to play, so I don't see that number going down anytime soon. For the extra deck, I played 2 Detonator, 2 Duo Drive. Those cards are obvious. They're just really, really good. They're the main point of your Ryziel engine. I played one aggregator. Two never came up for me. One is just enough because I have other targets that I can discard. There's other cards that I can send to the graveyard that still do good things, and I can save this card for when I'm on the crackback. I played a Baguska. If you see the other Fiendsmith decks that are out there, they're not playing this card. I think this card is just insane because you just make the soft lock, and the soft lock in your deck is even better than your opponent's. Because when you soft lock them with your duo drive and your Baguska, they try to break it. If they can't, because your hand traps, they just summon their own Baguska over here, and you just go draw phase, link 2 into moon, and that feels insanely powerful, and B, almost uninteractable, and they're probably dead. Then I played the Fiendsmith package. I played one Requiem, one Sequence, one Agam Day, one Closed Moon, and a very questionable Honorable Goddess. Agam Day was probably the best card of my extra deck all weekend. I just automatically killed my opponent. You set up boards. You put the Desiree under your Dead Natter, and then you do all your plays. Your opponent tries to play through your pops, and then at the end of it, you just have an Agam Day and a Desiree, and they really can't do anything from there because at that point they have 2 cards in hand. This Underworld Goddess was Conrad's idea. I think it was a pretty good idea, to be honest. So we played Metaltronus in the side deck. It was kind of the only advice that I took all weekend. If I just Metaltronus the big guy, summon an Underworld Goddess, that just can't be bad. And it sounded insane, and it was insane all weekend. This card should become Caesar, though, if I was going to play the deck again. Because if I played Caesar, I probably would have won the event. And then I played one Necroquip, one Desiree, and a Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel was broken all weekend. These two are kind of self-explanatory. You just kind of need them for the engine. Chaos Angel is insane. If you make it with Light and Darks, there is a non-higher likelihood that your opponent cannot out it without non-engine. And even then, they're trading horribly into this card just to kill it. And if they're doing that, that means their hand's smaller, and that means your insane deck is definitely going to kill them. For the side deck, I played 3 Lancia, 3 Bell. It felt really good to be able to side 6 into almost every matchup. So belling the field spell for the Malice deck felt insane. It definitely won me more than my fair share of games. Lancia just turns their turn off, and if it doesn't, their turn really doesn't matter because what are they really going to do? And then I played 3 Perulia. This card was insane all day. It's basically Pot of Greed, especially in the Ryziel mirror. You force them into playing into it when if you can hand trap their ice with extra cards in hand. Just felt good all weekend. Definitely a card I would always play. I played 3 Metaltronus. This card is insane. Any format where there's mirror matches, I definitely want this card in my deck. There's so many targets that don't even make any sense, like the fact that Engraver's an 1800 Light Fiend. It's kind of unfair. If you play against any Fiendsmith card or Fiendsmith decks, you just hit their Lurie, you hit their Link 1, you can hit any of their cards because you also have those cards. It just felt insane. It covered a huge spread and won me a lot of games. And then I played 3 Barrier. There's no reason not to play this card. You can just turn off pure decks. It comes up in a couple of smaller situations too, but it's just a broken card.
I appreciate the list. And to close it out, any shout-outs, list of shout-outs?
I do. Shout out to Jose Del Rio. Without you, I wouldn't be here. You're the best, brother. You're the reason I get to play this game. Shout out to Jacob Jenkins for having Fiendsmith cards in his binder. If he didn't have those, I don't know if I would have tested the engines for so long. Shout out to Taylor Wallace. We play tested like 20 hours the day before the event. We just never moved. We sat in our chair and we didn't move, and it was extremely beneficial. And then shout out to all my friends. Without my friends, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be going to events. I wouldn't be doing all this. It's all because of you, and you make it all worth it.
Appreciate the profile. Well, congratulations, Matt. Hope to see you again at more events.
All right, a lot of them.
All right, take care, brother.